Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout, but this time on a Friday. I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific commenter himself, Zelius.
I'm so confused.
What's that?
It's Friday.
I know.
Like, it's Friday. I should be, like, out playing video games or out drinking. Well, I am drinking, technically speaking. And we're talking about video games, so I guess it's actually a normal Friday night to me.
Mm-hmm.
But last night I felt alone and afraid and neglected and like something was not right in my life.
Yes.
I got home and my cat was like, "What are you doing here? This is my alone time. This is time when I groom myself. You're not supposed to be here, stupid human." So it was just a weird night all around. When my cat starts talking to me like that in human language, it means I've drank too much.
That's a little creepy. I will admit that some people might be looking for last week's Thursday Night Hangout.
I was.
It is not actually up yet. So I've been fighting, like, I guess, like, sinus
Hell.
junk for basically since last Thursday night. And now I am about as close as I'm going to get to, and of course it's time to do a broadcast. So,
Let's get you the Mountain Dew Cure.
yeah, Mountain Dew Cure!
It works for me, it works for you, it works for all of humanity.
Indeed. Okay, so per request,
Request?
yes, last week, or maybe it was the week before, I think it was last week, there was an individual that was in this chat room that decided that they would like us to actually put information about what we're going to be talking about. So I have quickly done up some quick rudimentary stuff. So I know the white thing, it's not a final thing. It's a rough draft.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
It's the first
Absolutely.
week we've done the subject, so we're going to
Absolutely. So
there's a little bit of irony to this.
So anyways, I know I've actually prepared something. But anyways, the first topic of this evening, of course, is the one that Zelius and I want to talk about the most, and that, of course, is AndoCon. AndoCon is this convention that if you are in the Atlanta area, or you can be in the Atlanta area next weekend, not this weekend. So,
the following weekend, like
right.
8 days from now.
The 15th and 16th of August. It's happening at the Marriott Perimeter.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. And we have the Ando in the crowd. Awesome.
The Ando of AndoCon! Woo!
Anyways, so we're going to be there. We're going to be given 2 panels. And, of course, there's going to be a ton of awesome stuff going on. Zelius and I have already said that we are definitely in on some board gaming. And if at all possible, I'm going to try to find my way to play some of Eddie Webb's games. Whatever, if he brings something to AndoCon, I am all over.
So why Eddie Webb? What is your affection towards this man?
Eddie Webb is a guy who was part of No Okibo, you're not late.
You're directly on time. A wizard is never late.
So here's the deal. Eddie Webb was part of the team behind the ill-fated World of Darkness MMO from CCP.
Don't you have a World of Darkness on your wall somewhere?
World of Darkness! Look at all those books back there. He was part. He'll be running at least Pugmire, which is, a lot of people think that Pugmire is a joke, but it's not. It's actually it's a pencil and paper RPG where you are. What's the correct term? You're like a dog person. Anamorphous, I think is what it's called.
You're a dog person?
You are like a pug, but you've got like the body of,
like a centaur.
Sort of, but no. It would be like Star Fox or
So you're like in a Nintendo 64 game.
Sure.
I'm not helping, am I?
Anthropomorphic. Thank you, Ando. That's the word I'm looking for.
Big word. Big words. Big
so anyways, I'm definitely getting in on some of Eddie's stuff. Eddie was actually an individual that I had the amazing honor of joining for a panel at MomoCon. Yeah, I'm really excited. And you are, and he is, I don't know if it's ironic, but he is a big pug guy.
And I have no idea what I'm going to play when I get there.
Well, I'm sure that that there's going to be plenty of board games to hop in. I'm sure that I kind of hope. What was the name of the game that we saw at the disaster?
At the what?
Was it called the Sentinel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The guy, he's making his game. We told him about AndoCon to check it out.
Yes, we did.
So yeah, it's a guy, and basically he's an indie board game maker, and he's making his own board game called the Sentinel. And it actually looked pretty dang. We didn't get a chance to play it, but it did look pretty complex.
Ah, yes. Thankfully, we have the founder of AndoCon in the audience this evening. He wants to remind us that not only are amazing board games and panels going on, but there's also going to be game shows happening. This group, I cannot remember their name off the top of my head, but they were running a ton of game show stuff last AndoCon, and it's just going to get bigger.
So are we going to hear people yelling like, "No whammy, no whammy, no whammy"?
Maybe.
That's what I want to hear.
Send such game designers my way. We gave them the information, so hopefully they've reached out to you. If they haven't, then I'll see if I can find their card.
Because he's trying to get people to play.
Florida Whammy Entertainment is the group that's going to be doing.
See, Whammy, like I said.
Yes. So yeah,
rock on. I'm looking forward to it. It should be some good times.
And of course, once again, it is only Saturday and Sunday, which is works perfect.
I'm a fan of only Saturday and Sunday. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm kind of like up against a wall when it comes to vacation time. I'm not allowed to use it because my wife is 9 months pregnant. So, baby could pop at any time.
My issue is my cat gets afraid when I'm not there for multiple days, and that's terrible. Mm-hmm. I come home and it's just pissed off at me, and it just doesn't end well. Blood happens.
Okabo, AndoCon is happening the 15th and 16th of August.
8 days from now.
Yep, next weekend.
Yes.
And we will be there. I believe we have the first panel after the opening ceremonies.
So it basically are the opening ceremonies, what you're saying?
No. Ando is the opening ceremony.
But we welcome in the people to our panel.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We will make sure that the door stays closed when the opening ceremonies happen, so everyone has to stay in.
Oh, I like that idea.
I know, I do too.
This is sneaky. I think we're onto something. I think we actually just overtake Ando's like opening panel, and we just jump on stage and usurp what he's saying. We're like, so video games!
It's like, so since you guys are in here, you got an extra hour to go, so let's just go.
I'm sure people play video games for at AndoCon. It seems to go hand in hand.
Anyways, he likes that idea. All right.
You can join us on the panel. You can be our honorary guest of honor.
Mm-hmm.
It is your damn conference, after all.
Absolutely.
Or convention, whatever.
Absolutely. Okay, so check out AndoCon. We'll be there. Now, I do want to bring up, and unfortunately, I forgot to write this topic down. So I'm going to type it, and then you're going to see, like, this is how unprepared I am. Okay?
If I do sign language, I sign it for you.
Okay, so the next topic is... Hold on one sec. I'm trying to go as fast as I can.
No, we like having people on this show to interact with us, to be like, yo, what's up, dog? And
no. Ando, we are all for people talking.
Amen to that, brother.
Yep.
Whoa! Wow!
Oh my god!
Apparently, this podcast is not MonsterCon, in case you were confused.
Okay, so I do want to bring up since we are on the convention chit chat. So we spent a lot of time talking about MonsterCon.
I already bleached it from my mind.
So MonsterCon was basically a train wreck that was apparently a fundraiser that no one knew about, and so yeah. So MonsterCon is dead. The convention is dead, but they are putting together an untitled South Carolina comics and toy convention that basically falls on what MonsterCon fell on this.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, the dumb thing is, like, if you went to the MonsterCon Facebook website, it was called Monsters and Toys MonsterCon.
No, it's called Comics and Toys MonsterCon.
Sorry. Like, it already kind of had that preface of, like, okay, what is it? Is it toys? Is it comics? Is it MonsterCons? I'm so confused.
Right. So, anyways, they basically off MonsterCon because everyone was bitching and...
It's
not gonna lie, I got a lot of attention for, or we got a lot of attention for our video, and then I got a lot of attention for my written up review of MonsterCon and how it should not be called MonsterCon. So maybe this is in the right direction Here's the crazy thing.
There's
They're going to have vendors pay $150 per table.
Okay.
But free admission.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, it's free admission to get into the con?
Yep.
It's an interesting approach. I'm not sure what to think of that.
I don't know.
It's
like, we're going back to our roots. We're just going to do comics and toys. I'm like, okay.
With free stuff, okay.
Well, I mean, free admission.
Not free stuff, but free admission.
Right.
I mean,
sure.
Yeah, whatever.
So, okay. Now that I've said
it's going to be hard to do a fundraiser when you're not bringing in the money. I'm just saying.
Right. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is Brawl.
Hold on.
All right, so we did free pre-reg our first year.
There we go.
Yes. Okay. Zealous and I had the amazing opportunity to interview Bloober Team, which still is just such a weird ass name. I always want to call it Team Bloober, but it's literally Bloober Team.
So part of the benefit of interviewing them is to give us some pretty nice swag, including free shirts.
Yes.
That's the most comfortable freaking T-shirt I own. Like seriously, like I know it seems like silly, but it's like the most high quality cotton T-shirt I've ever worn in my life. Like I'm like, wow, I really wish I could wear this to school on my spirit days, but that probably would not go well.
So, anyways, when we did the interview, Bloober Team had an exclusive for their game Brawl on the PlayStation 4. Unfortunately, Ultra Confusion doesn't own a PlayStation 4, so we weren't able to review it. Now, since then, it has gone on the NVIDIA Shield.
Which I asked about and I should not have.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to ask about that, but that's okay.
Epic fail by me. That's
okay. But now it's coming out on the PC, Linux, and Mac, which basically means it's coming out on
Steam.
And so here's the deal. It's coming out next week. I don't have the exact date, but I would assume it's Tuesday, because that seems to be like the release day is Tuesday, though since they're in Poland, I don't know.
That throws it off.
Yeah. But anyways, Brawl, to the best of my ability, it's like a horror party game where it's Bomberman-esque mixed with basically the character roster or part of the character roster of Twisted Metal. There's several different game modes in there. There's classic mode. There's
sumo mode.
There's sumo.
Paint mode.
And then there's like a wave mode, and then there's like a random sheep mode.
The paint mode, that was my favorite.
Oh yeah, the paint mode was awesome too. Basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the biggest percentage of your color sprayed across it. So this was an awesome game. If you want to check out the gameplay, we did do a video of the gameplay. You can find it on YouTube. I did post it in the article that I posted today on
While playing with the game developers.
Yes, while playing with the game developers. So you'll hear us talk while we're playing the game to kind of get a better idea. And then, of course, I went to the press release of it like the following day. But it's a great game. It's called Brawl. I don't know what the price is off the top of my head, but it's going to be comparative to, what it's probably going to be about the same price as the PlayStation 4 game, which I think was $12.99. I think so, or maybe it was $15.99.
Sorry,
I think it was discounted at $12.99, then went back up to $15.99.
I think I do remember that. Yeah,
I think that's what it is. But anyways, check it out. Now, speaking of Bloober Team, they have been very, very busy. Not only are they bringing Brawl out to the masses, but they're also bringing a game called excuse me, called Layers of Fear, where basically it's a psychedelic game. I guess it's a psychedelic game where you basically step into the mind of an insane painter, and you see all of these historical works of art through the eyes of the painter. And I watched the teaser trailer, and I'm going to tell you this right now. It's freaky as shit. And I'm actually really, really excited, and I hope that they give us a review code, because I would love, let me say it again, I would love to play this simply because I think that this is going to be one of those games where I literally have to turn on all the lights.
Off.
No, turn the lights on after playing the game.
I know. I think you should just keep the lights off and just get yourself shitless. You have like PTSD from playing video games.
No, so here's the deal. My range, or basically my gauge of how spooky a game is when it's supposed to be horror themed. I will only try to review the game at night with all the lights out, and I'll make sure that everyone's asleep.
So you don't scream when you wake up. We don't wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not going to play with children. So
no. So, but here's the deal. At the end of my gaming session, could be the entire game, could be like a couple hours, depending on the length of the game. Sometimes I can play through an entire game in one sitting. Sometimes I can't. But at the end of the game, if after I exit, I have to turn on my desk lamp and then turn on all the lights downstairs and then basically turn on lights as I'm walking through rooms, then that game has done its job.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've ever actually played like a real horror survival game. Like the closest I've come, which is not one, is like Resident Evil 4.
Okay,
but that I just have never played like an actual game that's supposed to like scare you shitless.
Okay, so I've played quite a few of those. Because I love the movie, those type of movies. But the thing is, a lot of horror games and movies, for that matter, they have that. They fall into like all those cliches, like it's gonna be. I nope the hell right out of Amnesia. Yes, I played a little bit of Amnesia. I think I got stuck. I think that's what happened. But
he forgot what to do.
No. I think I just got stuck. It's a lot of games that try to go for horror. They try to go for blood and guts and stuff right off the side of the screen. And after a while, you kind of get used to it. But when you've got this interesting mix of things coming from the side, and random noises, and maybe just a little change in music, where you're like, yeah, I know something's about to happen, but I don't know where it's going to happen. That kind of gets me. If I'm just constantly watching a gentleman in a white mask slow walking, with one of the best soundtracks. I'm talking about Halloween. Then I'm kind of like, no, okay.
You know what I'm waiting for, though?
What?
Virtual reality, scary games. True full immersion in a horror game. I mean, people pissing themselves. They'll be so scared.
No. See, I think you got to take it just one step further.
Sorry, man. VR's just not enough.
No.
We already passed the step of VR.
No. If you want a true... honest to God, crazy ass horror game.
You have a seat with knives in it.
No. You need a force feedback vest. Okay? So when you're walking around, you hear the creaking, and then you can feel a little bit a tap on the shoulder. Oh yeah!
No, I would truly if that happened. I'm sleeping with the lights on. I'm sleeping with the damn lights on if I play a game like that. That's terrible.
That's too immersed.
Yeah, if you did that, developers would probably get sued for seriously traumatizing people.
We'll just have to put a different warning label on, okay?
Dude, you made me ruin my floor. I'm just saying, there's a difference.
Oh man,
I agree with you, Andrew. That'd be a bit too over the top, possibly.
That would be. I'm just saying, it would be interesting.
So, genres that work well with immersion, or maybe too immersive.
Mm-hmm.
Horror games,
mm-hmm.
and porn.
Okay, that would be creepy as fuck, but you know what? I would not put it past. There's going to be this, back alley subgenre of some kind of porn that's virtual reality.
Oh, it's coming. The big ones are already trying.
Oh, I know.
I mean, it's gonna, but that's what they're gonna actually make money off of.
Oh, absolutely.
They're gonna sell the content because right now it's all free, or so I'm told.
Free.
It's free.
You just have to sell your soul.
It's too late for that.
Anyways,
I work here.
So, anyways, yeah. So check out the VR porn demos. Already, yeah, I know. I did want to mention
that's totally not why I want a demo.
Sure.
What you say?
So, in keeping in the vein of horror games, or I guess horror games, there was a game that I reviewed a while back called The Silence of Sleep, which was a very dark, depressing, game. So the developer for that is coming out with a game called The Human Gallery, which is, ironically, you are a painter. Okay, so so you're thinking, oh my God, it's the same thing as the previous game we were just talking about, Layers of Fear. But this one,
what is it?
No. In Human Gallery, you're a painter who lacks inspiration, so you go into the minds of a serial killer,
okay,
and then you get the twisted world there. So I think the developer who's doing this basically had like super mind blockage or something, so he decided to do a speed game where he just tried to develop the shit out of try to make a game. I think in like 10 or 12 days, and that game is called Distraint, which I'm pretty sure that's not a real word.
No, it's not.
But it basically, from the teaser trailer they gave, it looks like they took the graphics engine of Silence of Sleep and then they added like a braid looking character. That's the best way I could describe it. So I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that game, but it's probably, to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if it's depressing, because this guy has made some. I mean, Silence of Sleep was basically a guy commits suicide, or does he? And he's in a world where others might have committed suicide, or did they? And you're just kind of like, oh my God. So, anyways,
that's how I feel.
Yes.
Did I or didn't I? I don't know.
Who knows? Okay.
This could all be a false construct in which we're all just pre-programmed to do what we're going to do anyway, so who cares?
Interesting. All right, on to the next topic. So there's been like this, whoops, I kicked something I wasn't supposed to. So there's been this question that's been circling around that's usually asked during our Thursday night hangouts, and I figured I'll just throw it up there now, and that is, where do we look for info on games? Because you've got your IGN, you've got your
Kotaku, you got rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
Wait, do you still have it? Is that one still around?
I think so.
You got Giant Bomb.
You got
I know Charlie hated it, but you got Metacritic. There's a whole. You have Steam.
But what? Okay, for you personally, where do you go?
Honestly, Steam. Okay, I have a two-step process. So my first step is like, okay, I look on Steam, and usually, maybe I'm rarely, if ever, going to just buy a game like the first time I see it. So I'm probably going to look, a little bit by genres. I'm going to look a little bit by, like, what's the best selling. Kind of like, okay, what's out there. But what Steam has really got me hooked on is they have this thing. They've had it for a while now, actually. Is they have, like, I don't know what their actual terminology is, but it's like the game stream, basically. Where, like, if you look at a game, say you look up SimCity, a city-building game, what it's going to do is you now have this flow of city-building games to look at. So, yeah. So, you're looking at SimCity, so Steam is going to be like, oh, hey, you should also now look at Rome.
Right.
Now you should look at Tropica.
Recommendations.
It's going to give you recommendations based off this genre. And I've definitely found some games off of the genre suggestion that hadn't been there before. But that's the other thing, too, is, yes, Steam has had Metacritic for a long time. So I do look at that, but I don't base... Here's the thing, though, going back to Metacritic, is when you look at the games on Steam, their Metacritic score they list are based on the critic review score. I never actually care about the critic score review on Metacritic. What I like to look at is go in there and take a look at the user reviews. That's what I tend to find relevant. Or Steam has their own built-in reviews now, which is either thumbs up or thumbs down. Then they have their gauge of highly positive, mixed reviews, somewhat positive.
Mostly negative.
Mostly negative. So I do kind of take that into account looking at the game. And just kind of say, okay, what looks interesting now? So that's kind of how I look, is mostly looking really at the Steam games. I mean, I check out other game review websites. I'll look at the Kotakus and stuff, but I really don't buy games based on what they recommend. I think the biggest reason for me, at least, is they're always talking about those most recent AAA titles. And it makes sense for them because they want to draw the eyeballs, so it's not a bad thing.
Right.
But a lot of their stories, I'm like, okay, I can follow along, but at the same time, I don't know exactly what's going on because I'm not buying. I'm not buying the new Batman game or the whole other list of new games that are coming out. Mm-hmm. So for me, when I look at the other game review websites, I'm kind of like, because they do. But in the last year or so, I have noticed them talking more about indie games than they had in the past. There is definitely a push more. It's still greatly geared towards the AAA publishers,
right.
But they definitely are getting more relevancy to the indie titles than they had in years past. Mm-hmm. Still definitely the minority, but at least every once in a while I'll see something about a lesser-known title out there. Mm-hmm. So that's how I find my games. It's really chiefly through Steam and also Charlie over here.
So I'm kind of an interesting situation. I don't really look at reviews or scores of games simply because I'm looking for games to review.
Yeah.
So what I usually do is I almost exclusively, if it's on the PC, I'm almost exclusively going to hit up Steam, the new release section of the indie genre, and then look over some of the games, find out if there's any of them that seem to kind of like coincide with what I like to play, or it sounds interesting or unique, and then I reach out to the developer to see if they want us to review the game.
How successful do you find yourself? So you reach out to those reviewers. Mm-hmm. How successful are those endeavors to reach out to developers in terms of them responding to you?
7 out of 10.
That's pretty good, actually.
Well, the thing is, one of the things that we go over a lot when we do our panels and our talks is that indies, unfortunately, they fall into the mindset of the product will speak for itself, which is unfortunate because there are some amazing products out there that just get thrown out there and then no one hears about them.
But people can hear it by word of mouth. Why should I have to spend extra blood, sweat, and tears to advertise my game when I put so much into?
Right, but the thing is, you need to start the word of mouth.
Isn't it the person who played its job? My girlfriend played the game. She should spread the word.
But not everyone's going to spread the word who's played the game. That's the problem.
That's unfortunate.
So what Alter Confusion does is we reach out to the developers. We say, hey, look, here's the deal. We want to review your game. The only cost to you is a game code. We'll review it as quickly as we can. We'll throw the review up on Alter Confusion. We'll give you a link to it, and then we'll basically copy the entire review and paste it on Steam and either give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and then we keep going. Sometimes it's kind of a balancing act for me because I don't know if the developers are going to talk to me. I mean, 7 out of 10 is pretty good, but at the same time, sometimes I only ask like about 2 or 3 games, and it could be that the next 3 games I ask about are the 3 out of 10 that don't get any response. So I try to, I try to pad my best.
It's not like you don't have a backlog anyways.
Right. And so as a result, I have a ton of games. Now, I have some developers out there that are starting to reach out to Alter Confusion, so that makes it a little bit easier. When it comes to iOS or
Android,
basically Android, or basically any games that are not on the PC platform, either there's a PR firm that's going to reach out to us, or I keep an eye on the independent developers Facebook page, and when someone posts something, yes, absolutely, and we would help you out with that. If something sounds interesting on the Facebook page, I will reach out to the developer and say, hey, I'm interested in doing this. That's how I reviewed those 2 kid games. That, of course, I was heavily helped out by my son.
That's the reviewer.
Right, absolutely. I got someone in the right age range to do it. So I wish I could say I play a lot of AAA titles. I don't. When I do, it's usually something that's been hyped up on a bunch of different websites, like Joystick. Which is now Engadget Joystick.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
So, yes, you don't play as much AAA titles as you maybe once upon a did, but do you feel like you're actually losing any of your enjoyment from video game playage from not playing these AAA titles?
So there are definitely times where I get into that AAA title. I buy it. I want to play it. I start playing it, and then I'm like, oh shit, I've got all these other games that I need to play. And so does it kind of wear on me? Because I'm like, oh man, I was so into The Witcher 3, or I was so into Dragon Age Inquisition, or I was so into
Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny. And then I have to stop cold turkey, and then I may never come back, or when I come back, I've lost all of,
how do I play this game again?
Exactly. So for that part, especially if I start playing a bunch of games and they're like crap, then it gets really, really difficult because I want to go back to that game. But at the same time, I know that the emphasis that basically my main focus is to try to help out independent developers. And if I get time to play other games like Smite, like Defiance, like Witcher 3, like Destiny, like Dragon Age Inquisition, if I got the time, then I'll play that. But to be honest with you, when I do have the time, I found that I've been reading more books. I just finished the book Abomination by Gary Whitta. If you are looking for an alternative history book that's got some pretty good action, if you can get through the first like 20-ish pages, the first 20 pages, like literally they're trying to steamroll you through the backstory so you understand where you're at, what part of the timeline you are, and then shit starts getting really interesting, and then you can't put the book down. I highly recommend it. And then I also read a graphic novel called Nimona. I do not remember the name of the author off the top of my head. I will look it up right now, though, so that because they deserve a lot of attention as well. Nimona is written by Noelle Stevenson. It revolves around a girl named Nimona, and she finds this guy, this villain, and joins and becomes his sidekick to try to help him rule the world, or basically right the wrong. It turns out to be. I'm not going to give it away, but it's a great book. It took me 2 days to read it. There's a lot of my only issue with the book is that it's a graphic novel, so it's action with speech bubbles.
Yep.
And sometimes all the speech bubbles, it's not a typed font, it's a written font. So there are a couple times where I gotta like squint and go, what is that? But most of the time, Nimona, awesome. Abomination, amazing.
I started rereading actually, re-picking up. Author is Glenn Cook.
Yes.
The series is the Black Company Chronicles. Basically, it's very dark and gritty high fantasy. I mean, it's like, it pulls no punches, and it's literally, the author makes it to be out like you're literally in the trenches with basically this ragtag team of mercenaries. And it's definitely not something you're going to read and be like, wow, that was a great, happy read. I'm going to go frolic in flowers.
Right.
I mean, it's a very down and soft, it's a book about mercenaries, but it's not, there is save the world type of quest going on. But at the same time, it's not like, oh, high fantasy, yay! It's definitely, I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely not the most, I want to say not enjoyable, because it's a good read, but it's not going to put you in an uplifting mood like some other fantasy novels might. It's just, It's very dark and gritty. It's a good book. It's kind of one of the main kind of catalysts in that genre. They're saying, like, for instance, like Joe Abercrombie kind of falls in that kind of same pattern of kind of that gritty type of fantasy genre. But Glenn Cook was kind of the first to really kind of get that very dark and gritty type of action and fantasy going. But it's good stuff.
Right on, right on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is now the opportunity for anyone who's in the audience to give us a topic that they would like to talk about. If you do not have one, I will make one up off the top of my head, and I cannot promise that it is awesome. But if you need time, you can definitely take time. I will start a topic, and once the audience requests a topic or something, I will drop whatever we're talking about and move on to that. So to allow the audience to basically think about
Stuff.
Stuff and topics.
Topics.
I will start off with this. Zelius, if you were to ever cosplay a video game character, whom would it be?
Wow, this is out of left field, considering my cosplay experiences of none. Wow, that's a really good question. Huh.
So I'll let Zelius think about it. I'll give you mine. Actually, here's my problem. I don't know. Well, so I play a lot of you
gotta pick somebody who would be
random games. Yeah, that's the problem. I would love to play like a Spartan from Halo, but I don't have the talent to make the armor.
I was thinking, actually, I would really love to like Mass Effect.
You want to be
Commander
Shepard?
I think it'd be pretty badass. But again, you gotta go back to the town because like we've seen some of the Commander Shepards, like Commander or Mass Effect. We've seen some of the conventions, and you see their get-ups, and it's like, holy crap! I can't.
Hello,
like
Nickelbo, or Nick Lebo. Yeah, whatever.
I know it's Nick Lebo.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a topic, and it comes from Mr. Ando himself. Opinions on Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, which, of course, is on the original NES. Some people really hate it, but I am one of the few who seems to love it. What are your thoughts? Zelda 2 is actually the first Zelda game I played. I've never actually played all the way through the original Zelda, which I regret a lot constantly. But to be honest with you, I thought it was pretty solid. I liked it. It was interesting. It was definitely different. And I know that a lot of people had an issue because of the fact that it was so different from the first. But it kind of gave you a better look of Link and oh, for the love of God! Sorry, I haven't played all the Zeldas.
I haven't really played Zelda anything. Yeah, I just haven't played Zelda, and I'm sorry, I'm worthless as far as this topic goes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I ever completed Zelda 2. I think I got pretty damn far in it.
My brother's the only Nintendo console that only ever owned was the N64. And I did play Ocarina of Time, which I did rather enjoy. Ocarina of Time was a very fun game. That's the only Zelda game I played, just because I never really did the Nintendo consoles. So I'm zero help on this because they're not out on the PC.
A Link to the Past, my friend. That was probably my favorite. Just to be honest with you.
Why would that be your favorite?
It was a solid game. The Super Nintendo was like the amazing console that had a shit ton of really good RPGs on there, and I
well, it's time to pull out the emulator. Go play the game.
Pull out the emulator. I'll just pull it out of the closet, dude.
I was talking about myself.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, try this one. GoldenEye vs. Perfect Dark. Ooh.
GoldenEye for nostalgia. That's what it comes down to for me is I look at the two. I did play Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark to me had better gameplay as far as the actual single player stuff goes. It was more polished, which is all fine and great. But the beautiful thing about especially the old school shooters, well, I guess current shooters too.
No, just old school.
Whatever.
Split screen.
What?
Split screen.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say multiplayer, but more specifically, you're right. Split screen, and just those memories of GoldenEye. Playing in our friend's basement. He had the huge projector with pitch black in there, and everybody had their own screen that was the size of a regular. It just has memories of playing GoldenEye. So for me, it's all about the multiplayer of GoldenEye. And the reason why I liked it is it's one of those games. It was like that game that everybody played. So when you got together to play a game, like right now, if I went to a friend's house and they were playing Halo, I would get gibbed nonstop because I haven't played Halo in years. So as far as GoldenEye, it was always fairly level and competitive. So I was a huge fan of the GoldenEye multiplayer.
I agree. I think I don't get me wrong. I love Perfect Dark, but I think because of individuals being when we hung out with friends, they could easily just sit down and play GoldenEye over Perfect Dark. I think that GoldenEye kind of won out because of the multiplayer.
The other part too, if you like the bots, did you ever play Time Splitters? It was another fun game.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, I know.
Time Splitters is an amazing game. I've got 1, 2, and 3, and there was supposed to be a 4, but it got canned because the whole company went. But it's one. Time Splitters was one of the last games that came out where you had
give an entire damn convention for yourself. You got 200 friends.
So Time Splitters was one of the last games where you did not have the jump mechanic, but it was a first-person shooter. And it was awesome because I always played with either the monkey or I think I just really liked. Yes, okay. So I didn't have it on the Xbox. I had it for the PlayStation 2. Ando said he had it for the Xbox. I loved it. But I want to say I think Time Splitters 2 had the best map editor, and I made some crazy ass maps, and that was awesome. And then playing with your buddies or whatever, it was so much fun. I had the 4-way splitter for the PlayStation 2 so that I could have all my buddies jump in there. I really liked Time Splitters, and I was really sad when the rumors of a 4th one were true, but it never came to fruition.
The thing I like about Time Splitters, though, is like, it seems like all of the FPSs nowadays, it's all like serious business, motherfucker. It's all like, you better play to win and nothing else matters. And Time Splitters is one of those games you can play for fun.
Yeah, it's goofy.
Like, I mean, it seems like that's something that's kind of gone missing from some of the online competitive games. It's that they're competitive. It's like you've lost some of that fun aspect. And that's one of the reasons, like, I've always gotten back to Team Fortress 2, because it's one of the few online competitive games to play that still is fun to play and isn't ultra competitive, where it seems like every other, like, online PvP game goes, like, if you're not good, people just call you noobs and that you suck at life, and go home and suck your mom. That was the way, I got that one in Smite the other day.
In Smite?
Yes.
Good lord.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
I cried. I cried to Rose.
I would love to see another time. I would love to see a new Time Splitter. Hell, I would love to see a new Beyond Good and Evil, which apparently has been in production and then on the back burner for like a bajillion years now.
Well, vaporware, it happens.
No, it still exists apparently. I mean, they actually had like a trailer that came.
It's on a surfer farm somewhere, singing, waiting to be produced by us.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it's going to end up on Kickstarter. Because they can't decide what to do.
I don't know.
Well, Ubisoft, that inspires a lot of confidence.
Yes.
Or by a lot, I mean a little. None? Zilch? Nada?
It's not Assassin's Creed, okay?
It's the Creed of Assassins. Big difference, yo. I'm just saying. There's a difference between the two.
Whatever, man. So, oh man, I had a question for you.
I know. You had like I saw the hamster turning, and I was waiting.
It's got that squeaky wheel.
Yes. He's trying, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Oh damn! It just disappeared. This is what happens on Friday.
I know my brain's not prepared to think on Fridays. Like Thursdays, I'm good. You get to Fridays, and I'm ready to pass out. I'm serious.
It's terrible. Man.
It's the first week back to work. Well, I've been at work for the summer, but back of school, of students being in session, and the students kill you, man, every year.
So I've noticed something.
What have you noticed, pray tell?
That they're coming out with a new Angry Birds.
Isn't there Angry Birds 2 already out?
No, it's about to come out. Let's like, I think we're 10 different Angry Bird games in, and now they're finally coming out with 2.
Well, they got to milk the gravy train.
I thought it was already milked. I thought that Angry Birds was kind of.
Wait, whatever happened to the Angry Birds? When they're going to do an Angry Birds movie?
Yes, that's still being made, and so is the cartoon.
It is? Okay, I wasn't sure.
I think so.
I could see an Angry Birds cartoon actually making sense. I'm going to be honest. Because the game itself is very cartoony, and you can make a lot of like I could almost see it being like a Roadrunner type of thing, to be honest. Like, you almost got me type of thing with like the slingshot deals, where like basically end up with a huge Rube Goldberg type of concept to kill the pigs by the birds, if I'm remembering the game right. Isn't it like the eggs are trying to kill the pigs or something?
Yeah, you're trying to kill the pigs.
Yeah, so I could see like that type of deal going on.
So do we like to watch any funny gameplay videos on YouTube?
I don't watch gameplay videos. What I tend to watch are like the funny trailer type of stuff, or like CinemaSins.
Honest trailers.
Like CinemaSins and honest trailers.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad idea. So I usually end up winding up to going to bed around 10 o'clock. Like, I'm just going to go on the web real quick, see what's going on. And I start loading up YouTube at like 10:30. It's just a terrible idea. Because then it doesn't end well. So those two, CinemaSins and honest trailers, are ones I can just watch for hours. And so those are my funny videos.
It's got to be recommended to me. I'm not going to look for the funny videos because there are a lot of people who just like to scream in their videos and they think it's funny, and I'm just like, no. The vast majority of the time when I'm on YouTube,
I don't know game theories. I know a good funny one. I don't remember what it's called, but we saw it at Canuga.
Okay.
It was the one where it's basically the guys, they act out a video game like in real life. Like they go out as like the orcs from World of Warcraft and start like acting out like they're in World of Warcraft, like in the middle of like a populated city.
You know,
I know you watched it with me.
I probably did.
I know you're there. I watched remember what it was called, but it was pretty damn funny.
You know, I did enjoy back in the day. I did enjoy Red vs. Blue. That was kind of fun. I'm more of, if I'm going to be watching stuff on YouTube, it's going to be like, you know, a little. It's probably going to be like a part of a comedy, like a comedy show or a web show. I've watched The Guild like, I don't know, like 37 times. I've watched basically anything on Geek and Sundry. I've probably watched the vast majority of it. I've gotten into a couple of web shows. The ones that really hooked me. The first one is H+, which is really fucking creepy because that shit could actually happen.
What is H+?
So H+ is basically, it's a little bit in the future. It's where basically the vast majority of the world, after you get a certain age, you get an implant in your brain that allows you to be connected online.
Sounds like Ready Player One.
Basically, it's kind of, yeah, but you don't need a rig to do it. And then, of course, something happens.
No.
A virus goes out and basically.
Imagine that.
And so there's, you know, the show. There's 49 episodes, and I watched all of them.
So my thing on YouTube that I end up watching is like, I'm still a wrestling fan, so I end up watching like old like videos of basically people like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin giving like their promos. And it's usually like the funny ones, and I spend way too much time doing that.
The other show that I've been watching a lot of is a web series called Carmilla.
Yes, and you've told me to watch it, and one of these days I'll get around to watching it because I just started watching The Orange is the New Black on Netflix.
All right.
Which is not
as good. If you accidentally stumble into YouTube and you find Carmilla,
it's not as good as I was honestly hoping for.
What, The Orange is the New Black?
It's okay, but I'm like, I don't see why everybody's like in love with it personally.
Well, it looks like Mr. Ando has another discussion topic, so Mr. Ando, lay it on us.
Of the AndoCon.
Of the AndoCon. My bad.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't give you your full title. My bad.
I know. I expect more from my colleague in crime. I don't want to let down the yearning audience to know the full name of Ando.
Yes.
Indeed.
There's on Geek and Sundry. There's also a show. It's kind of a show. Actually, I really enjoy Will Wheaton's Tabletop. Although,
is there like one guy you just really hate?
No. Discuss how you feel about what Big Bang Theory has done or not done for the modern geek community. Okay, let me just preface this real quick. Zelius will never watch it.
I have one reason.
Because of the laugh track.
I cannot watch shows with two shows I should be in love with that I cannot watch. One is The Big Bang Theory because apparently I'm Sheldon, And the second is the IT crowd, because, hey, I work in IT, and it's hilarious. But they both have laugh tracks, and laugh tracks literally make me want to shoot myself.
So I will take this one. I think it's interesting. I think that, yeah. Yes, there's a 19-second. Man, that is crazy. Okay, well, yeah, okay.
I'm glad you counted. We've always wondered just how long it is.
I think it actually changes, but I think 19 is probably about
good enough.
There. It's probably like 10 to 20. Anyways, Big Bang Theory. I think that it does a much better job than some shows do when trying to portray the nerd. I think that a lot of people, unfortunately, believe that Big Bang Theory basically covers the entirety of nerddom.
And that's exactly, like, as you're saying, that's exactly what I was thinking is, you hear people at the staff lounge, and when they talk about Big Bang Theory without my ever watching it, I definitely very much get that impression that, like, how Sheldon, and who's the other guy who's nerdy?
There's 4 guys.
Okay, however the 4 nerdy guys talk, especially Sheldon,
Raj,
is they think that's how just old nerds, they think...
Twitchy Jaden!
They think that's like a representation of nerddom right there, those characters. I definitely get that impression. Like, wait, they're not all like that? I'm like, no.
Right. I think the bigger issue is that not all nerds are going to be scientists. They're not all going to be they're not all going to be comic book lovers. So I think in a way it's to be honest with you, I like the show. I just think that if you're going to use Big Bang as this overarching thing of nerddom, you're in the wrong place. And my best example of the like preconceptions of nerddom is my first time I went to DragonCon. So I've been to Penny Arcade Expo 5 or 6 times, and so I was like, oh yeah, I really fit in with these people, and so I'm like, DragonCon, that's kind of like a PAX, but in Atlanta. I mean, this is going to be awesome. Yeah. So my mind, my nerddom was about this big.
Okay.
The nerddom of DragonCon is about, let me see if I can get this in frame. It's about like basically the size of the frame, okay? And so, you know, so it ended up being like this big in comparison to basically the entire frame. There is no way to cover everything. Not every person, nerddom, geekdom, whatever term you want to use, there's not going to be a person who's going to like everything, and there's not going to be a person you can't. There's no way that hanging out with one type of person means that you can hang out with all of them. Gonna be honest with you, there are certain corners and hallways in DragonCon that I feared that I would be like eaten by a darkness.
Okay, so you're so Angel's question makes me think of something else.
Okay.
So you ask, okay, how does Big Bang Theory represent, you know, geekdom, whatever? Is I'm going to go back to a book that Charlie and I talk about way too much, is Ready Player One. And it made me think of it because it's very much about the virtual reality / gaming geekdom. And the reason I think it's relevant is because the book goes to pretty great lengths to kind of describe how these players... So basically one of the premises of, I don't really think you can wait too much to the book, is you have the Oasis, which can basically be a big virtual reality video game. And the book goes to great lengths of kind of describing how these characters get sucked into this world. I mean, the main character is he never really interacts a whole lot with the real world. It was kind of interesting because, you know, in terms of, you know, video game people, does that really happen? It's like, hell yeah. I mean, you think of like when we were in college.
Right.
And EverQuest was really in its high, you know, its peak when we were in college. And the big joke was Evercrack, really, is that's what people got addicted to, was Evercrack. And it was not uncommon to have those kids, not just one, but plural, on your hallway basically flunk out because they literally played Evercrack for their entire life. Like, that's all they did their freshman year of college.
Right.
Because they could get away with it because they didn't have to live at home. So in terms of like a book, like Ready Player One kind of described, how these, or as they called it at one point, the lost generation, because this generation got sucked up so much into this virtual reality world without stepping outside their door because they didn't have to anymore. I think in a way, that's to me could very much be realistic.
Absolutely.
It's not that these people, were by nature, I think necessarily, antisocial or didn't want to deal with people. It was just easy and it worked, and you can very easily get sucked into that world.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was actually pretty relevant and actually like realistic as far as that really could be a real representation of what would happen should this true immersion take place someday. Because we already kind of have seen that with video games already. We like video games, but kind of the concept of video game addiction, much like any other addiction, can definitely be a real thing where you get way too immersed in that one type of world or genre, being it video games or movies or anything else,
mm-hmm.
where you just live that type of world nonstop.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's a great book. If y'all have not read Ernest Cline's Ready Player One, you need to see it. Have you ever seen the movie Gamer?
Yes. Wasn't that one the one where like basically they're on death row or something,
yes.
and they like interact in this video game and it was cheesy as hell, but it's one of those. It reminded me of Death Race.
Yes, it was kind of
just like mindless entertainment, or like it was entertainment for the masses of people of death row. And it's one of those things where like I enjoyed those movies. You just have to go into it with the right mindset.
Right, you couldn't take it too seriously. Yeah. I did like, it was definitely a different take on reality. Where wasn't there another one just like it? There was another one where hello DM 123707, oh my gosh, or DML, sorry DML,
123707.
There was another, I think it was a Bruce Willis movie, where it's like surrogates. That's what it's called. It's called Surrogates.
I never saw that one.
Where basically everyone jacks into like an android body, and they basically go through their day while they just sit.
I've basically given up on Bruce Willis ever since, Live Free or Die Hard.
Actually, you know what?
I think it's like the last process. I'm like, okay, I'm done with Bruce Willis.
There's a book that's a lot like Surrogates. It's called Locked In by John
Goodman
Scalzi.
I know John Scalzi.
Yeah. He wrote a book called Locked In. I think you'd like it too. It basically follows kind of like the surrogate thing. Where
he's really popular on a forum I go to called Sports Filter.
He's awesome.
He's a cool guy.
What the hell was it? There was there's a book that he wrote that I was like, holy crap, that's like one of the best books I've read.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff.
I'm gonna have to look it up real quick. Nope.
Look on Amazon.
Amazon. First Amazon.
That link that says Amazon.
See, I'm not wearing my glasses, so this is kind of.
One Man's War: The Human Division, The Great Something, Red Shirts, Locked In.
Fuzzy Nation. Fuzzy Nation, a great book. God, we're handing out books.
We like books.
We love books.
We do love books.
We are video game playing, movie watching, book reading nerds.
I like to read my books too. I like to go sit on my balcony, hang out with my cat, have a beer, drink some wine, read a book.
Mm-hmm.
It's good times.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I need to find my next book. Actually, I do have my next book. It was a Kickstarter. It's called Augie and the Green Knight.
I don't know what my next book is. I have to actually find my next book myself, because once I finish Glenn Cook, I'm done with that series.
I'm going to be honest with you. If Gary Whitta writes another book, which I'm really hopeful that he will, I'll probably pick up that book.
There you go. Actually, I've been meaning to reread Harry Potter. I haven't. We'll see.
A little late for that. We did trivia on Wednesday.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think me rereading it would have helped us a damn bit. Yeah, I was... Some of those people who knew like these random like esoteric like questions, I was like, what do you do with your free time? You just like study nothing but Harry Potter. I'm like, these people knew their Harry Potter. It's pretty amazing. I kind of bowed down at their feet of wisdom.
So,
I really like the Hunger Games. I was surprised that actually like the Hunger Games, because the first Hunger Games is basically Battle Royale, just a toned down version. It wasn't bad. It was just like, nah, this is lame. But then I was like, okay, I will now read what's the second one called? Catching Fire. And the reason I liked it is because Katniss is an extremely flawed protagonist. I found that very interesting and kind of refreshing because I'm so used to not having that, where, you know, the protagonist is awesome, they're special. You have that character where basically she did not move the plot. The plot moved, like, Katniss was here, and the plot moved around her. She was like a rock that did not move. It was interesting that, you know, protagonist did not drive that book. She just got dragged along with events. She just happened to be the Mockingjay. It's really, I mean, yeah, she had to, you know, be badass at times, but she didn't really do a whole lot to actually make that happen. And she just happened to kind of be at the right places at the right time, and they just made her to be the face of the revolution. And then she basically...
don't give it away.
What?
Don't give any of the Hunger Game away.
Okay, well... Sorry! Potential...
Jesus!
If you start talking about a book or movie that's been out for a while, I think it's...
You never know. You never know.
Okay, I'm
anyways,
sorry if I spoiled anybody's dreams about what goes on.
And I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've played some of the Soul Caliburs. I suck at most of the Soul Caliburs. My favorite Soul Calibur was... I don't remember the number. It was at the arcade.
The original?
No. It was like... it had to be like 2004.
I think that was like the original or Soul Calibur 2, I'm going to be honest.
It might have been 2 or 3. Whatever. Anyways, I liked it better. See, the thing is, I've never been one for like buying the arcade sticks. So, but Soul Calibur is definitely a game that I think is enhanced with the arcade stick. So, yeah, I would only play it in arcade.
I think the last fighting game I seriously played was Street Fighter 2 Turbo in the arcade.
Guilty Gear, Guilty Gear X, and the only reason why I played that is because there's the one-hit kill move.
See, my problem with arcade games is I never had the patience, like fighting games, I mean, like that or Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, etc., is I never had the patience to like learn the combinations of like, how do you do the flaming kick of Spiral Death? Was like, no.
Soul Calibur, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember who the heck the characters were. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been so long. But it was...
I'm guessing Endo's a big Soul Calibur fan. Getting on a limb here.
Let's see what we got here.
Let's see what was out in the year.
Was it the original? No. No, I don't think so. It had like a conquest mode. That's the one that I played a shit ton of, was the Conquest. Because that was fun for me. But anyways, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really play Soul Calibur. I don't know. My memory of the arcade was that racing game, like the dirt track game, where like you could like level up your car and stuff.
Dirt track. Oh oh God, I should know this.
It was a really fun game. I can even like visualize within tilt of like where that arcade game was.
Ando owns all Soul Caliburs.
Even the Dreamcast.
Nice!
Do you still actually own your Dreamcast? That's
yes,
the real question.
Ando, do you still own a Dreamcast?
Because if you do, you could buy. Where does the game?
Elysian Shadows. Okay. So I do want to bring this up real quick. Elysian Shadows is this game. It was kickstarted. It's been greenlit. It was supposed to be on the OUYA, but unfortunately, I don't know if the OUYA thing's still going to happen. I think it's coming on the iOS as
Nobody
well
knows
and
about
Android. Of course, for those of you out there who don't know, OUYA has been officially bought by Razer. Ando, just give us a question if you
we can discuss the topic in 4 minutes flat.
Yeah,
I can talk a whole lot faster.
Yeah. Shit was it? Okay. Elysian Shadows has hit a speed bump. Basically, one of the main dudes has left the team. So you, Ando, can pick up Elysian Shadows for the Dreamcast when it comes out. So they have kind of hit like a bump in the road. But I'm hopeful that that they do get their stuff back on track, because I really do want to see what Elysian Shadows is going to be like at the end of the day.
There you go.
So, there you go. Oh, if you, oh God, I'm trying to remember.
Remember faster.
I can't
You can do it!
I can't remember.
That happens a lot.
I've got way too many games to play.
Well, I thought it was just your general brain information just detoxing and leaving your synapses, and then you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Neither do I.
Some would say I never know what the hell I'm talking about.
Most people I know would agree.
They just don't know, man. They just don't know.
If only they knew how the Charlie thought, then it would be fine.
I just need more Mountain Dew. That's all.
I don't think that's going to help. I think it might have the reverse effect. Just saying.
Anywho.
All right.
What's your favorite convention in Atlanta? Oh, that's easy. It's a two-way tie. It's a absolute tie between MomoCon and AndoCon.
Well, I'm going to Dragon Con, so I'm looking forward to Dragon Con, and I will shortly find out.
Dragon's Con scares me.
Well, you scare easily, so this is not surprising.
I know.
So I don't know yet.
Okay, so MomoCon is fun because I'm a huge fan of anime, so it's kind of cool to like talk to people who are dressed up as anime characters, so I can find out potentially about new animes I need to be watching. And then also the cosplay is amazing. The real cool thing about AndoCon is that it is a smaller convention where you really get to meet the bigger name people at the convention and just hang out with them.
Cool.
Which is really dang cool. And there were certain panels last year that were not allowed to be videotaped, and you had to be there, and they were a lot of fun.
So here's a question for Ando. This is actually for my own knowledge. I could ask Charlie, but for the audience too. So this Marriott, is it like close to MARTA? Do you have to drive there? Is there parking? Kind of like, what's the deal for actual like getting to the place of the convention?
So okay, so this this hotel is within walking distance of the Dunwoody MARTA station.
Okay.
You know where so Dunwoody MARTA station pumps you out right behind Perimeter Mall.
Yes.
There's there's Hammond Drive. That basically on the other side of Hammond is Best Buy, and then behind Best Buy is 285.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So when you pop out of that MARTA station, you go across Hammond and you go up the road. That's basically past the Best Buy. You go up that road, and as soon as you get out of the MARTA, you can see there's a hotel on the top of the hill. That is the Marriott.
Well, maybe the better question is can you just park at the hotel? No
Absolutely,
problem.
yes.
Oh, you can. That's what I wasn't sure of.
No,
okay.
Oh my God, my favorite anime, Ando.
Record of Lotus War.
That is a phenomenal one.
That's easy for me. It's right there. I watched it a couple times, borrowed from Charlie each time, but I really love it. The whole.
So I've got a couple of my favorite animes. One of them definitely has to be Cowboy Bebop. The other one has to be Trigun. If I was going to be anime, hello Tony Munns. If I was going to do anime cosplay, it would either be Spike Spiegel or Wolfwood. Spike Spiegel, of course, is from Cowboy Bebop. Wolfwood is from Trigun.
I want to go as the dog.
You want to go as Ein from Cowboy Bebop? Yeah.
I'm
going to be honest with you. My wife and I were thinking about getting a Corgi back in the day, and if we were to get a Corgi, I told her the only name that dog could be is Ein. But it would have to be the right coloring. Okay, I couldn't do like a black Corgi and go, this is Ein. It had to be the right color.
You gotta have your priorities.
But I love Cowboy Bebop. I love Trigun.
Hey, I have a Rose and she's not blonde. I'm just saying.
How about have you seen Claymore?
Claymore is really the only problem with Claymore is
there's a little bit of discontinuity in there.
Well, I don't want to give away the end of it though.
Right. Okay.
I do have an issue with like. Don't get me wrong. If you like anime, watch Claymore. Claymore is an amazing anime. Yes. It really is.
Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned it.
I'm trying to cheat. I'm trying to look at some of the ones that I have up there.
In fact, I think I need to go rewatch Claymore now.
You know, Death Note is kind of a fun one.
I couldn't get into Death Note. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes of Death Note, and it just
didn't... You want the live action? I've got the entire live action. It's 2 movies.
It just doesn't... I just didn't do it. The anime just did not
I did find it funny. I was
Okay, and the other one is everybody's favorite, and yes, I'm going to give away a major spoiler about Attack on Titan, so tune out for the next 30 seconds if you don't want to know what's going on. Attack on Titan. There's one thing I loved about Attack on Titan is it was all about like the small man versus the big frickin' titans.
Mm-hmm.
It was like literally the story of David and Goliath. And then the frickin' protagonist becomes a damn titan. And once he becomes a titan, I have not watched an episode since he became a titan. Because I'm like, this is lame. Like, that just lost so much of the appeal of the show for me when that happened. So that's the thing about Attack on Titan.
I'm sorry.
I'm like,
Tony Munz asks, what do you think about e-gaming becoming more popular in recent years? I saw a Dota 2 tournament had a...
I thought it was 18 million.
Whatever. A huge $1 million prize pool. How do you think this will affect the human race going forward?
It's going to affect our CPM.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Esports is here to stay. They have already made humongous strides to try to regulate drug testing. I mean, come on. But they know that
no pseudo-infection for you.
Look, no Adderall. So I'm totally for it. The thing for me personally is I have to be literally at the event. I can't. For some reason, I cannot just watch it online. I think it's just because I get pumped up by the crowd. I get swept up in the emotions. And the other thing is,
but I think part of that potentially is I used to be that way with all think about sports that we watch on TV, like football especially. Right. Football used to be a spectator sport. Right. It used to be one of those sports you had to be there to watch.
Now it's all.
But now it's more enjoyable watching my own home than going to a live game. Don't get me wrong, I'll still go to a live game of football. Right. But there's no issue watching a football game at the comfort of your own home too. And I think maybe esports, it's still figuring it out. Mm-hmm. How to get it out there. I think it's one of those things where it could definitely become. I think part of it too is they have to augment the experience. Right. So it's one of those things where, like, I think you're watching on ESPN because guess what? It is coming back to ESPN in some form or fashion. Yeah. Is you see the live stuff on TV. Now I want to be able to also pull up stats on my phone and then be able to do something on my computer or something. I mean, it's one of those sports that truly has the chance to really utilize all of your electronic devices at once.
I agree. I think one of the biggest roadblocks that esports is going to face as it becomes, I hate to say this for sports junkies who think that esports isn't real and will go away. It's not. It is real and it's going to stay. I think the biggest hurdle is going to be introducing individuals to what the hell is going on. So that means that you have to have commentators that are able to explain in like precise language, but not bog everyone down. So it's going to take a special type of person. I know that they did when they did the ESPN2 thing. They did Heroes of the Storm. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Yeah, Heroes of the Storm. And the people who actually had no idea what the hell it was, but they ended up watching it and they're like, oh my God, this is kind of cool. The one complaint they had is, but I'm not exactly sure what the hell's going on. And I think that if they could find a way, and this might be a beautiful time to utilize all your electronic devices and say, have like a little banner saying, hey, you want more information about what's going on? Download the app or hit up this website while you watch. It'll give you a better understanding of what's going on because you also don't want to like pollute the screen with all this different shit.
Because there's a balance between introducing new people to the sport, but at the same time, guess what? The majority of people who are watching are going to be people who already know how to play.
Absolutely.
So you don't want to bore the people to death with two people like, this is a character and they have 4 skills, 1 through 4. With the one, you don't want to bore your people to death either. It'd be like, oh my God, I know this. It would be like almost like if the NFL, if they spent the first quarter explaining, The quarterback is going to drop back, pass the ball.
But he could hand it off.
Yeah. They don't explain the rules before every single football game.
Right, because it's kind of a given. But at the same time, if you needed, football commentators are a good example because there are definitely a lot out there, and there's some that are really bad at it, but there's quite a few out there that are able to paint you the picture and get you more immersed in the
I think you're exactly right, because you think of my favorite football commentators, and there are definitely ones where, okay, yes, I know they got a successful pass for 15 yards, but it's the ones that can go back and be like, look at this running back went out and gave the chop block to this blitzing linebacker, and he gave the quarterback enough time, and he rolled, like the ones who explain it, of like, why did that play actually develop as it did, even to someone who I understand is going in football, but those commentators who can take it and really bring it to that next level of understanding, those are the ones that I find the most interesting. I think it'll be not much different with esports. They'll be able to explain, oh my God, this guy came in and intercepted and he gave it an assist. And then it used it, and they'll be able to like explain and kind of give like a rapid fire explanation of what the characters were doing to make that attack successful to take down the Titan.
Or the Phoenix, or the Tower. We're talking Smite. Which is what we went to. We saw the Smite World Championship live, and it was awesome.
It was pretty off the hook.
Yes. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we have reached the end of our time slot. I want to thank Zelius for, of course, being on, and, of course, all you amazing people in the audience, be you still in the audience, or maybe you had to drop off, or perhaps you are watching the recording of this. Once again, if you have any
comments, concerns, criticism, thoughts, or suggestions for us,
please go to alteredconfusion.com, or you can check out our Facebook page, Altered Confusion, or you can hit us up on Twitter, AlteredConfuseZO.
Because having the end would be too awesome.
And, of course, we have all of our videos, be it playthroughs, the Thursday Night Hangout, my personal Something Slightly Different, or Quick Looks, or
my 5 total reviews.
Video reviews, or perhaps panels that we've done, or perhaps panels we thought were interesting and we wanted to give them to you. You, of course, can check out our YouTube channel. Please hit subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and, of course, drop us a comment on our website, alteredconfusion.com. So thank you for tuning in to this special edition of our Thursday Night Hangout. I know that it is a Friday, but thanks once again for tuning in, and we will see you in the very near future, and hopefully we can work out a special deal for next week, but we don't want to reveal it on the video right now.
There's going to be beer.
Okay. Thanks for ruining it. But anyway,
I'm sorry, guys. I ruined it. Wait, there's beer this week, so it's going to be different next week.
Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. And as Ando so eloquently put it, he is Ando, and so can you.